Hello, I'm Kristen with the Rogers Public Library, and this week for Catch 'em All at the library, we will be focusing on Meowscarada. So in your craft packet, you'll have your coloring page. You'll also have a small green piece of paper with some pieces to cut out, a smaller pink piece with a nose to cut out, and then 2 full sheets and 1/2 sheet of dark green cardstock with pieces to cut out. You will also have a string. And we are going to make a Meowscarada mask. So the first thing we need to do is cut everything out, and then I'll show you how to put it all together. So once we have everything cut out, we're going to start with the mask piece. And we're going to take our lighter green pieces and make the design like Meowscarada's mask. So you can figure out which triangles fit where, and we can trim them a little bit, or you can just rearrange them. Try different angles. Whatever makes it look how you want it to look. So we want on each side 1 triangle pointing up above the eyes and 1 triangle pointing down below the eyes, and then the diamond right in the middle towards the forehead, but not all the way up because we don't want it to get messed up with the glue tab once we move on to that. So once we have these laid out how we like them, we're going to go ahead and glue them all into place. Once we have all these pieces glued on, we're going to go ahead and take our shorter angled triangles with the rounded edges, and we're going to take the flattest edge, and that is going to line up on the back of the mask just underneath the eyes to form the points at the bottom of Meowscarada's mask. Now, these should not interfere with the opening of the eye hole. If it does, we may have it on the wrong end, like that. It's a little shorter and coming over. So we want to find the one that will, the edge, which should be the flattest one, that angles in to where it doesn't cover any of the eyepiece and still makes those points. So from the other side, it's going to look about like this. So the points, the very smallest tips, are going to touch around the nose area, and then the far edges of our flat edge, they're still going to be within the inside of the mask, just a little under the holes that are already there for you to use to tie your string. So then we'll go ahead and glue those pieces on. But once we have those on, then we're actually going to move up to these tabs that say glue on them. And we are going to put glue on them. And then we're going to overlap the next edge with that tab for the glue. And we want it to line up so that the edge of the piece is lined up with the black line for the edge of the tab. And this is going to make our mask 3D so that we can wear it will fit on our face. So we'll add that glue for each of these 3 tabs and do that overlap. You may have to hold it in place just a little bit until it gets the paper gets a good firm hold with that glue. And then you can move on to the next part. Once all 3 of our tabs are glued down, then we can move on to the final piece with the ears. So far we should have our mask in 3D mode with the bottom of it complete. Now for this ear part, we're just going to take the flat edge, add some glue, and then we're just going to stick it on the inside of the mask, just a little bit above the hole that is punched, and with about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of the earpiece on the inside of the mask. And we're just going to glue it on. And we'll do that for both sides. It's pretty simple. And they may overlap just a little bit here at the top on the inside, but that is fine. So when we flip it over, they're not overlapping. Now, you can leave it like this, where the ears are just going straight back, or you can just make a fold at the highest edge of the ear, right where the highest part of the mask touches the ear, and just make a straight fold right along there so that the ears stick up a little more. Then we have our little pink nose that I almost forgot to put on our mask. So we'll take our little pink nose and glue it right at the tip of the mask where the nose would go, right at that point. Now, the very last thing to do is to take your string, and we're going to put it through one of the holes in the side of the mask that are already punched for you. And we're just going to tie that string on. And then you can measure the string around your head and see if it is just the right length, or if you have some extra and need to cut it off, that's fine. But I would go ahead and try and tie both ends to make sure that it fits well on your head. And then with whatever extra string you have at the ends of that, you can cut it off. But then you'll be ready to wear your mask as Masquerade. And this is our craft for this week. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week to make another Pokemon. Bye.